Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome to Jim's 5am Club. As you can see, I just got off the train here at Circular Quay, and it's another grey old day, another miserable day. It's overcast, not as windy as yesterday, and the rain isn't as heavy as yesterday, but that cloud looks like it's quite ominous, and it may cause some precipitation later on in the day. And I just thank my lucky stars that I lived in this beautiful city of Sydney. Where else in the world can you step off a train and come out and have this uninterrupted, perfect view of Sydney Harbour, Circular Quay? And it's a public space. It's absolutely free, and it's available to everybody. You can see the jacarandas here are in full blossom with their purple and lilac coloured flowers, and it's just awesome. You can never ever get sick of this view, and we've got all the ferries here lined up ready to kick off their day. So let's go on a bit of a walk and talk as well and kick off our day today. And I want to do a book summary with you, and it's an awesome book. It's an awesome book that we're going to talk about today, and the book is called The Friendship Formula. The Friendship Formula, and the author is Alison Schroeder, and it is a treasure trove of information and scientific evidence which talks about friendships and how friendships are generated and occur, and what the challenges are in order to maintain the friendships and to keep the friendship balls in the air as you juggle through life. The first point to come out of Alison Schroeder's book that I picked up on was that most people, including me and including you, have a maximum capacity of people that you can have in your life. And that maximum, from what science tells us, is about 150. You can have up to about 150 people who you can manage and have them in a valued relationship. So the way to see it is that at any one time you can probably manage about 150 people in your social orbit, and those 150 people include family, friends, work associates, and all those sorts of people that you can have some sort of touch with. And what Alison then says, and it's quite right, is that there are different layers of friendships. It's a little bit like an onion. You know, you've got your outside skin, then you've got your next layer, and your next layer, and then you've got your core friendships, or your inner circle, so to speak, on the inside. And this works in business, it works in corporate life, it probably works in politics as well. It works in families, religions, you name it, across the board. This formula seems to be something which is quite universal. And Alison says something which is quite profound, and she says that on the outside of the circle, on the outer layer of our friends, are the sort of people that we met at school, that we've met at work, who are friends of friends, and people that generally, when you see them out, you have a tendency to want to talk to and just say hi, greet them, share some small talk with them, and basically acknowledge them in your life. So they're the outer circle sort of friends. And the next layer in are about 30 to 50 people. And they're the people who are a little bit closer to you, and they're the people that you're delighted to see at a social function. You'll go up to them and you'll say hi and you'll chat and you'll carry on your conversations that you had previously. So you're cordial with these people, and they're the people that you may see a couple of times a year, maybe at Christmas, maybe at another function, maybe at a concert, and you may sit with them or chat with them, give them a hug, give them a kiss, and that's the next layer of friendships. And Alison then says that you go one step further and you've got a group of close friends. And close friends are probably a max of about 15 people, which include certain family members and also other friends. And these are the people that you spend more time with on a regular basis. They're the sort of people that you confide in, the sort of people that you turn to when you need support, and they're the sort of people that are fairly close to you, but not the closest. And as I said, they may include cousins, they may include uncles, they probably may include a parent or a grandparent, depending on how close your family is. But it's probably about 15 people. 24 to 15 people are considered to be close friends. And here's the clincher. Your inner circle, your clicker, your inner sanctum is made up of up to five people who you consider to be your best friends. And they're the people that you want to spend most time with. They're the people who you're in close proximity with. You see them frequently, and when you see them, you spend quite a bit of time with them, and your relationship with them is fairly intense in terms of the things you talk about and the feelings that you have for them. The interesting thing is that, and these people that you have as five best friends are the ones that you turn to in a crisis. They're the ones who are there for you, regardless whatever it is, and they're the ones who will drop everything to help you, be with you, and the ones that you'll chat to all the time, the people that you turn to, and they're your bolt hole, the ones that are the closest to you and the ones you consider as being best friends. And remembering that best friend is not just one person, but up to five people in your social relationship and social circle. But here are the clinches. Here are the really important aspects of these friendships. If you're in a committed relationship, then you're kind of hoping that that person is in those five people. But not only when you're in a committed relationship, that person is in those top five, but that person tends to take up two positions in the top five, not just one. All right, so so when you're in a committed relationship, when you get married, or when you're really, really into somebody, you've got to understand that that person takes up two spots in your top five. And you've got to give them two spots, otherwise you're going to have problems. And when people get married or when people get engaged, that's when the biggest problems occur in your friendship circles, because you've got friends who are best friends, who are vying to stay best friends, who are in competition with your committed partner. And that's why we have a lot of tears, a lot of issues, a lot of challenges in friendships, because there's a battle, there's a war that occurs, and you've got best friends trying to swap out the committed partner, and the committed partner is doing the same, trying to get rid of or distance the best friends who were best friends over time. So that leaves you 3 spots. So if you're in a committed relationship, if you're a parent and you've got a child or a couple of children, then those children are part of that inner circle as well. They take up a lot of time and a lot of emotional investment. So you're juggling really heavily between family, committed partner and best friends. So it only leaves you a couple of spots to have a best friend. And look, over time I've seen a lot of friends suffer because of these dynamics, because they're competing against the committed partner, they're competing against children, and sometimes friends just don't understand that when you get married, when you have children, that your time is limited and you can't be with your best friends all the time, and those best friends can't be in your face in your life as much as what they used to be. And some friends just don't get it and keep on pushing, keep on trying to get close, only to find out that there is a distance that is being created by those other close and best friends, be it the committed partner, be it the children who are overwhelming or just who need a lot of support. But it's just a way of life. So what we learn through our lives is to back off. You know, when somebody gets married or gets engaged, back off a little bit and give them some time, give them some oxygen to be able to build a stronger relationship and to establish their best friendship relationship. And then if with time, if you're meant to be a best friend, then you'll be drawn back into the circle. But don't fight it, don't push it, else you'll just be pushed away and you'll cause yourself your own downfall. So that's a little bit about friendship that the Friendship Formula book talks about, and Alison Schroeder talks about as well. But she also is very, very big on talking about toxic friends. And her message is very, very blunt. Ditch toxic friends and family immediately, else they cause you enduring pain and upset all your dynamics in your friendships. She also talks about frenemies, friends who are secret enemies, and they're the ones who have got the barbs, who will say things, and all of their messages, all of their interactions will have a subtle dig at you, and they're the ones also that need to be on notice in friendships, that they're not welcomed, they're barbs, although they appear to go unnoticed. Friends always pick up on the barbs, the short jabs, and the things that people say, and are most unwelcomed, I must say, in many ways. But people just put up with it, and then slowly but surely push those friends to the outer. And the other funny thing, and I just couldn't stop laughing about the point that the author said in the book, is that a lot of friendships are not mutual. A lot of people who think that they're part of your close friendships, who perceive to be a close friend, maybe on the outer circle. Or, it's just a funny thing that, people seem to think that because they've got a lot of friends on Facebook, or because they're surrounded by a lot of people all the time, that those people see them as their inner circle or close friends, when in actual fact they may not be that close. The other thing that the author talks about, and it's something that we all face in our lives, especially when we get older, is that the older you get, the circles shrink and become smaller and smaller, and it's just a natural part of growing up. And she talks about the growth of friendships over time, and she says that when you're young, when you're in your 20s, and you're in your identity exploration phase, then you've got a lot of friends. You circulate with lots of people, and you tend to have a quantity. The focus is on quantity of people around you, quantity of friends. But when you get to your 30s and 40s, you start to find your true self, and then you start to distill your circle of friends, and you start to distance yourself from those people who you don't share many values with. And then the older and older you get, then you realise that friendships are important for your well-being, and you need them in your life. And your family is not always going to be your friends, because they move on, they change dynamics, and there is a constant swapping out of friends across the different circles and across the different layers over time. And once again, that's just natural. But one thing for sure and for certain, you need to be comfortable with your own self and your own solitude, but you also need to circulate and to have friends, especially as you get older, because it's an important ingredient in your well-being. You need to be able to turn to people, you need to be able to share time with people, to be a friend and to have friends. Anyway, let's finish up with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I am well, and I feel absolutely great. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay relevant, and most importantly, take on this advice from the author in the Friendship Formula. Have friends, be a friend, and remember that friendships have an inner circle of up to 5, then another circle of about 15 who are people who you can turn to, then 30 to 50, and then an outer circle. And by all means, make sure that you limit your toxicity and your frenemies in your life, and that you taper and be careful that you are not toxic or present barbs or problems to your friends. Otherwise, you too will be pushed to the outer and will spend your life in exile and isolation. Take care, yasas, have a good day, and be the best friend you can be, and try and have as many people in your life to ensure that your mental sanity and your life is fulfilling and enjoyable for as long as it can be. Yasas, take care from Jim's 5am Club, and I look forward to chatting to you again tomorrow from another location, but with another empowering message. Bye for now. Yasas.